Hi everyone, I'm Martin learning video game pianist. I'm starting a new series called Video Game Music, Commentary, and Transcription. Let's get started by transcribing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is a piece which was supervised by Koji Kondo, the audio supervisor of Nintendo. And let's get started. The music is playing in the background here, and let's go to the beginning. Turn the volume up. Alright, so it's a very peaceful start, and there's using piano in the music. So this is very unusual because the previous Zelda games, they've incorporated a lot of this percussion in the piece, like da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, things like that. So in this Breath of the Wild, there's just piano, and it creates a very atmospheric setting. It's very peaceful, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy to Xanarkand, where they start with piano in the beginning, saying, "Listen to my story." With this piano music, it's sort of setting the scene as well. So let's get started with the musical content. Alright, so the meter is a little hard to figure out, so let's just play around with the input 4/4, and then we'll come back to it later. Alright, so let's see it again. Alright, so that's okay. That already sounds like a 4/4 with dotted half note right there. And I'll put piano for now. Let's put a tempo marking. Let's see. Maybe andante. Okay, so let's do it again. Alright, so right there, I wasn't sure where that D came in the fourth or third beat. Let's see. It almost sounded like that B was held over the bar. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Alright, so hear that again, just to make sure, because I think that D was on the end of 4. I mean, that's what feels instinctively, but as you see, the piece is very simple in terms of texture, and it's almost like a melody that's doesn't have a direction. It's just drifting somewhere in space, and it's just something that's like a feather flying through the air. It's kind of peaceful, but there's no storm, or this. It's just it's like a feather flying through the air. So let's hear that again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So so it seems like I want to keep this in 4/4 for now, but it seems like that D was delayed a little bit by maybe by the pianist, because sometimes there could be rubato indicated or something, or some interpretive aspect of the score. But for right now, I'm going to try to keep the notes within a 4/4 meter rather than try to create an irregular meter like 9/8 for something in the second measure, because I think for just visually, let's just keep it this way for now. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna add an accent there. Alright, so now we have the bass entering in somewhere in measure 4 or 5. So I'm going to complete this third measure. And let's figure out when that chord comes in, because that adds harmony now. Because before we've had a melody, let's play it, and it's just has different intervals here: perfect fifth, major second, minor third tritone, major second. So as you see, there's a combination of a variety of intervals. So intervals are playing a huge part in the compositional aspect so far. But now let's see harmonically where this piece goes. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That chord sounded like 2/8 notes coming in on the second beat, but I have to check. Okay, let's tie that over, delete the natural sign. Alright, so maybe make this a half note. And then let's add another voice, because this E is going to be held over, and there's going to be a second voice that moves underneath. B to C sharp, dotted quarter note. And alright, so I don't want to add some more. I already know it's G and F sharp for the left hand, but I don't want to commit myself to that, because then I have to figure out when the rhythm will, what time it enters in the fourth bar. Then I won't have to copy and paste and delete everything. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that sounded like a dotted 8th note to 16th note, then tied to the 4th beat. So this is jazzy syncopated rhythm that's coming in here, which just adds an extra element, extra flavor to this. Oops. Tied to A. There's some other voice right there I'm not getting. What is F sharp? Huh. So I guess maybe that this F sharp is held over. Let's keep that there for now. Because sometimes when the section repeats, the pianist plays it again, the voicing might become more apparent then. But for right now, let's go on. Four, 1, 2. Alright, so now let's look at the bigger picture instead of, because I don't want to go into the microcosms of this transcription right now, because we want to look at the big picture and see the phrasal structures as well. So what's happening is that the second iteration of this melody, it's a variation. Instead of going to G sharp, it's going to A, so it's rising half a step higher. So this adds very subtle element from the composers to create this slight variation, because as you see, the first iteration of the melody goes to G sharp, but now it's going to go to A. So it's a slight variation to make the music, to develop it slightly, or just have a slight variation to make it interesting and not a repetition of what's been heard before. So I'm not sure when that E enters in. Alright, so now this is a little tricky, because how long is the A held? When does the E come in? All these things come into play, because, okay, let's look at how it's constructed. When I first heard this piece, I actually thought it was like a free improvisation, like maybe like a Chick Corea, what's it called, Song of the Wind, where there's Chick Corea improvised these pieces and somebody transcribed them, and or he transcribed it or something. The Song of the Wind, it's very improvisatory like, and the meters don't play as much as the motivic development and the way the themes are presented. So same with here, it sounds very improvisatory, and it's so I'm trying to get at that improvisatory like atmosphere, and then go into the details later, because it's also important to transcribe the atmosphere and the emotions as well. It's not just transcribing notes when they come in and how long they're held, etc. But there's a human element as well, transcribing emotions, transcribing the structure, the timing, articulation, the dynamics. A lot of those things humans can do, and I don't think machines can come close to that, because music is emotion, and machines transcribe only the notes, and they don't have this emotional impact or feeling. So they don't react to the music as a human do, as I would listening to it and then putting it onto the notes in the score. So let's go back to the second iteration. 2, 4. Okay, because so this could actually be a fermata. I wouldn't be surprised if it were, because then it would make sense not to have to figure out when the E would come in, but it's actually the downbeat of the next measure. So, and here I notice that this is truncated. The theme is truncated. The composer is not restating the entire theme presented here, because they already know it's in the listener's ear. When they present this E and these two notes, it's already like a signal that the theme is going to be played again, and this is just a truncated version of it to show, to get to the meat of the theme by showing the variation itself right here from D to A, rather than hold B for 2 seconds and then go to D and then G sharp. So this is getting to the point more quickly. Alright, so E, A. Okay, so let's go. 3. Alright, so that sounded like that B was on the E of 2. So how do we express that? Okay, B, F sharp. I'm not sure what duration that is. Okay, let's just say, let's keep the duration like this. I mean, it could be a staccato mark too. I mean, I would maybe play staccato because it's the high register. You want this note to ring out. It's one of the highest notes in the phrase, as far as we know for now. Alright, so let's get rid of this accent here. And let's put an accent here. Alright. Let's see what's going on. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so these chords are going against what the melody is going at. This is sort of a slight pull with these harmonies with the melody. So the melody is trying to go upwards, the harmony is trying to pull the music downwards. And this is what's going on. It's really interesting. And I think this is another fermata here. Transcription is also like being a detective. You have to figure out kind of what's going on by the clues of what's harmonies and what's repeated and what possibilities could be in ruling them out. So I'm going to tie this over to one more half note and then put that as a fermata. Okay, I'm going to paste this here, give it as fermata, because now it's going to go down, it's some sort of whole tone thing. Add a pedal indication. Con pedale, it's Italian, which means with pedal. 4, 1. Okay, so so let's see, this is a whole tone E, F sharp in the bass, and this 10th in a voice, but I'm not sure what the top voice was. It's talking, and it's hard to listen at the same time when you're talking. It's a good, you know, when you're talking you can't listen, right? It's hard to listen when one's talking. Alright, so let me input what I've heard so far. So it's E, F sharp, and somewhere here it's G sharp, A sharp. It's tied over to, let's say, placeholder as a chord note. Oops. Okay, right here again. Tied 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, that's, wow. That's, I mean, surprising harmonically and rhythmically, because this rhythm here is reversed. It's not da da, but da da. So in other words, I have to make the G sharp 16th note and the A sharp as a dotted 8th note. So there's some rhythmic variation in here. So far my impression of this music is that there's a lot more subtlety within intervals of notes, and it's not about bombast, it's not about these motor rhythms like da 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 or da da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da, but it's these subtleties that is more about the atmosphere. So yeah, I quite like this atmosphere and the way it's kind of unfolding on its own. It's kind of like something that unfolds naturally, like a flower that blossoms or something, or the sun that rises. It's unfolding over time, and it's very natural. So, and it's almost seamless because it's nothing that's really pushing it. It's the harmony is here, we have the melody here, and it's kind of like everything is really still, but there's still musical development. So right here, I think. Alright, so there's some other note here. I'm trying to figure out this. Alright, so I think what's going on is that this voice is going downwards. So it's either this voice is crossing below this voice, or this becomes the top voice. I wonder what would make sense both musically and visually. Alright, so let's just say this voice crosses downwards. It's a large leap of the interval though. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Alright, so let's just make this, let's see how it looks. The top voice here, second voice here. So B. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so this voice is also moving in parallel motion, whereas this voice was constant throughout these harmonies. So I have to change this. So it's B and C sharp. That's tied to, let's say, a quarter note. Whoops. Let's see what's going on. Oh, because I didn't put this as... Wait. Oh, okay, I need to change this to dotted 8th note. There we go, and then this will be a quarter note. Tie that over, and we're all good to go. Alright, next part. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this is really interesting where it kind of cadences on this whole tone. I'm not sure if I want to put this as sharps either, because it might be flats. So these things, let's don't get caught up on these minor details, and let's look at the big picture again. Let's connect. Let's see what's going melodically. I think these are two. I think it's cadencing on this sort of B flat whole tone harmony. here it's going by stepwise motion, so I'm not sure exactly what that was. Alright, so A flat, E flat, C. See, now I'm hearing in flats. Before I was hearing that these in sharps, and now it's just in flats. So sooner or later, to make a decision whether to use them all flats or all sharps or something. So this E flat should be in the second voice here, just to show the continuity of the voice and be sure if there are any leaps. There is a leap here. And this F should be a continuation of that. Okay, let's see how it sounds. Alright. So also this D, really interesting, this major second is clashing with this harmony. It's a lot of musical content that's really presented within the first 33 seconds of this piece. So. What's that? Alright, so already this melody is continuing. It's going into directions I have no idea where it's going. That's the whole point of it. It's really hard to predict. Alright, so no, maybe all these voices here should be in even the second voice. This should be a whole note here. This should be second voice. This should be third voice. Because I think there's a clear delineation of melody and harmony, and I want to show that. And alright, so let's. I said I didn't want to get into all these details, but I think this is an important detail to show right now. So, first voice, second voice, third voice. Okay. But there's a rest there. Oh, I see, both were the same voice already to start with. Alright, so for that measure it's fine. So it should be that. Okay, now it's here where I went. So I'll make this the fourth voice, make this the third voice. So sweet. Second voice, third voice. Maybe it's not necessary because that F sharp. Alright, so everything it's fine visually right here. I think it's when this measure starts after clearly delineate the voice separation between the melody and the harmony. So that means, okay, I'll put this as a second voice. Let's say this is a whole note. And the F will be the third voice. So tied. Alright, so now the first voice here can enter, I think, the second beat. A, D, G. Alright. Alright, so that B kind of entered not on the grid of an eighth note, but on the 16th note. So I have to figure that one out. It might be like something like this, but it's a guesstimate. Four, one, two. Alright, so there's a lot of pulling off the beat, very subtly. It's very subtle the way that the notes are aligned there. So hear that again. Okay, so this should be quarter note tied to a dotted eighth note. Then this should be, the B would be tied to the fourth beat, which is a quarter note. And then let's see where the D comes in. Very peaceful. Harmonies are kind of like, there's no tension in this, just creating the color. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Huh. Okay, I'm trying to do that. So my counting was kind of that. I'm trying to see if there's rubato here. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Alright, so for simplicity's sake, let's say this is a D and this is an A here. And this is a fermata here. Okay, maybe some, yeah, I think this is fermata here. It's a lot of fermatas here. Beethoven used a lot of fermatas to show when a very important theme was stated in the beginning of a piano sonata, he'd write a fermata at the end, like the first movement of the Tempest. But here, these fermatas here are sort of a different purpose, and more like to just let the notes fade away without having a sense of a push, of a direction. It's just creating this atmosphere again. So the pianist sees the fermatas. I mean, I don't know the score, but if I were to play this music with the fermatas, I would hold them. I would have a set length of time where I would hold the notes. So a fermata, one definition of a fermata is to hold the note longer than its length of duration. And it kind of looks like an eye. The dot is the eye, and then the scribble line is an eyebrow, because it looks, and sometimes the fermata meant for the singers or performers to look up at the conductor at that moment, so the next section would start at the same time. So there are different purposes for the fermata. It also just indicates an important meeting place for many performers to arrive at. So here we have A, D, G, F sharp, D, E. Now, I'm just saying that this is an approximation of the rhythm, so I'm not sure if there's a ritardando here or what. Diminuendo. Let's see. It's almost sounds like different texture. Hear that again. Alright, so this is reverse again, so there should be here, back. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the pedal comes off here. This indication. Before that A is played. So I'm not exactly sure, conclusive about this rhythm here, because there's a lot of factors. It could be a diminuendo that's influencing the performer to slow down, or it could just be a subtle rhythm. It could be a triplet here instead of a 16th note. Let's listen to it one more time. If there's any ritardando, so there's this D here, and this would be odd tempo here, the next section. But yeah, this could be a triplet instead of a 16th. Actually, it'll be faster than the 16th here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or this could be both quarter notes. Let's see. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard to tell. Really hard to tell. I mean, it could be this. But this looks very inhuman to create a 32nd note tied to 16th note, and then I'm going to tie this to the 4th beat here. It just doesn't look right. I mean, it could be, but I think there could be some sort of rhythmic tempo indication here. Something like this, ritardando, which would mean that this B would be slightly delayed than what would be expected exactly on the 3rd beat. So I'm going to put a ritardando here. I'm going to combine the diminuendo and ritardando. So I'm going to write diminuendo E ritardando. Then delete this, the ritardando. Then I'm going to clean this up. It's going to be a B. It's going to be a half note. Alright, so there it looks so much cleaner, so much more simpler, and it's kind of visually looks better because like this is dissipating into the thin air, whereas here we have a lot of more activity, and here the rhythmic activity is slowing down. And I'm not sure if I'm going to write this legato sign and see what it looks like. It could be some sort of legato slur over this. I just like writing slurs. They look really cool. They show like a really cool line. And here maybe it could be pesante. I'm just gonna guess. It could be a pesante texture here just to show the delineation of the melody and the harmony. Different textures, very important. They should not be on the same voice because this F sharp does not go down to E melodically. This F sharp stays floating in the air where these harmonies go downwards. It's trying to pull, it's going in different directions, as I said before. It's really interesting what's going to happen next. Let's see what happens next. One, two, three, four. Alright, so let's see what that chord is. This sounds like a G major 7th chord with a sharp 13. Alright, so how are we going to transcribe this? It's a rolled chord too. G, F sharp, and B, E. And I think C sharp is some sort of triplet rhythm. A new rhythm appears. Triplets. I'm almost tempted to put a open double bar here because it's such a change in mood. Right, mezzo forte too. All right. Da dee da 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 da. B, E, C sharp, was it? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, it's too far back. Ah, it's B and A, D, E. Okay. Oh, I didn't hear that 13th for C sharp. Let's see. Okay, so there's no C sharp there. For some reason, C sharp. No, there's no C sharp. All right. Da dee da dee da da. So I'm gonna create a rolled chord here. Well, let's just put upward rolled chord, just for as most clarity as possible. I try to be as clear as possible, not leave things up to misunderstanding when I can help it. So if there's a rolled chord, if I didn't have this pointed arrow upwards, one possibility could say that the rolled chord would be downwards. So one might play the F sharp first and then the G. It'd be like F sharp G. But this rolled chord with the upward sign indicates that it should be played G to F sharp first. Alright, so here we have E, B, La, Re, C, and then I think it's Mi or something. Alright, so it's a lot of things, a lot of new things going on here. There's a clash between the G and then the soon to be G sharp. da dee da 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 dee. I'm not sure if this is the right rhythm, but alright, so we're in a new mode here. It's G. This is G sharp here. Da dee da 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 da. So what's going on here? I wonder if this is some sort of inversion. What's happened before? So an inversion is when there's a theme beforehand, and then the intervals get turned upside down. So let's take a melody here. I'll just make up a melody. And then inverting it would be something like this. So as you see here, the direction this melody goes up, and this melody is going down. Something like that. And the intervals, a pure inversion, a true inversion would be, these intervals would be the same. So this would be major third, this would also be a major third. So something like this. Alright, so anyways, getting back to this. It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure where it's from. Could be something from here. Could be. Have to come back to that later. But right now there's a lot of fourths here, and there are these fourths here starting from here. Alright, let's continue our quest to transcribing this and seeing what else is going on in the music. It's very beautiful, peaceful music right now. Alright, so I think this has to be moved over to the next measure. This is a half note. 4, 4. Whoa. Maybe that's a pickup to the dotted chord note. And G sharp here. I think that's it. Let's hear it. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, very mysterious what happened, and then the silence, and then there's more music. And this melodic direction is going downwards now. And very interesting. F sharp, E, C sharp with these notes here. And alright, I'm going to tie this over. You don't need this because this is going to be tied. See, this is what I was talking about before. This G sharp is clashing with this G down here. It'd be interesting to see how that gets resolved. I'm assuming that these notes are leading to some resolution of this melody somehow and reconciling with this G bass here somehow, but but it's the composers don't make it clear or predictable how that's going to happen or when that's going to happen, if it will happen. So let's see what's going on. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, there. Very interesting section here where the right and left hand are playing not together on purpose. And the C sharp doesn't come as expected. It comes on the 4th beat, which is a weak beat of the measure. So if you're in a 4/4 measure here, there are certain beats that are stronger than and certain beats that are weaker than others. So if you have these 4 notes here, the first beat is going to be the strongest, and the 3rd beat is going to be the 2nd strongest. The 2nd beat is going to be the 3rd strongest, and the 4th beat is the weakest. So this is how a pattern in 4/4 would be where the natural emphasis of the beats lie. So what I'm talking about here is when the C sharp lands on the 4th beat, it's unexpected because first of all, we have these notes here, it's leading down, and it's expected of the C sharp here, which I wrote what I thought it would be, but the C sharp actually lands on the 4th beat here. Oops, C sharp. And this would be a half note. And I don't know if there's a bass here that's lingering on, but let's just see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. No bass. 1, 2. Alright, so it's mystifying how when that B is coming in and what's going on in the music. So add rest here. Okay, I'm kind of guesstimating again. Alright. Let's continue here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And it repeats. Or does it? Not sure that D is on the first beat. It's a rest here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the notes are pretty much laid out, but the timing is a little mystifying. When things start, when things end. And when the piece starts, when the piece ends, because it's a loop. This piece loops around, and it's homage to the 8-bit era when composers had to loop these pieces, had to be creative to loop the pieces so the player playing the game would not get bored with the music and would sound like the piece is going on and on and on, kind of like how you'd walk around. If you walk around the Earth, you'd keep walking around the Earth, go on and on and on, and wouldn't stop. So that's kind of like the world, the Super Mario World, the Overland theme, would just continuously play, and it would sound like it never got boring and never got old, and even to this day, that piece is not old. It's fresh, it's exciting, it's fun. So same thing here. We have this atmosphere, and it's repeating around here. It's going back to the beginning. So I'm going to delete these measures here and add a repeat sign somewhere. There might be an extra measure here. So say it's repeat and repeat here. And see, it goes back to here, but it doesn't sound like it's returning to the beginning, because how this melodic line descended, it did not really resolve. This G sharp did not really resolve somewhere. It actually, the C sharp lingered a little bit longer as what I thought I heard, and this kind of disappeared into thin air and then went back up to this high E again. So it's really beautiful writing how this piece can be played over and over again, and how it's looped really creatively like this. So yeah, it's something I don't think I'd get tired of listening to this anytime soon, and it's really a lot of musical ideas. There are a lot of fertile musical ideas that the composers may use later in the game, and for some psychological effect. For instance, maybe this harmony, this part here, could come back somewhere, and it could be a sign of something, or a memory of a time, and all these ideas are laid out in this piano theme. So let's figure out what happens here. Not convinced of this. Even if I retornando, it doesn't seem right, because that B came in later, and then that D, if that was a half, this B was a half note, that D should have been even later, but that D was around there. Another question is, how many times did the pianist play this? Because this piece loops, but how many times does the pianist play it for the recording to be used in the game? Because obviously this piece can be played over and over again for hours, and I don't think the pianist recorded all the notes for an hour or something. I don't think that would be practical. I think maybe there were a few repetitions and that's it, but if there were different playings of this, it would shed more light into what the rhythmic values for these notes are. See, that B came in really surprisingly earlier than I expected. So let's nudge that B a 16th earlier. So that would mean making this quarter note tied to a 16th note. That being 8th note. Tie that over. Alright, that makes a little more sense. Let me double check that. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That D, 1, team in the lane, 4, 1. That's on time. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, so I think there is a retardando there, but it starts here. Now it explains for the D being delayed and the A being delayed a bit. Okay, there's some sort of inversion here. F sharp, E, B. This is the lower neighbor tone to E. Because you look here, E, A, B, we have E, B, E, F sharp. Some sort of, it's a retrograde. Anyways, that's a little bit of musical trivia. Retrograde means when there's a theme like this, and then to make it retrograde, the notes are presented in reverse order. So instead of E, A, B, D, G sharp, F sharp, it would be F sharp, G sharp, D, B, A, E, but the F sharp would be written first and the G sharp would be written second and so forth. So everything would be in reverse order. So I think what's happening here is that there's a slight reference, subtle reference to this opening intervals, and it's a retrograde. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Alright, this B and C sharp are a little faster than what I expected, and so I'm trying to figure out what note values they are. And I know the C sharp is tied over a little bit. The resulting rhythms could be a triplet, da-dee-da-da. And it's kind of tricky because I at first didn't think about that. I thought these are separate entities, B, G sharp, B, and C sharp, but it could be da-dee-da-da, like that. Let's see if that is a possibility. yeah, that was a triplet. But what threw me off is that this B and C sharp are held as the B and G sharp are played. So I'm not sure how I'm going to notate this because for practical reasons, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. Okay, maybe we could write the B here. It's a triplet. And C sharp here. Like this. Okay, that visually looks a little disconnected. I like the other way, like this way, because then it shows the interval relations are easier to see here. But then, can't tie these over. So I'm going to undo that. Oops. Put the C sharp back here. And then make this a quarter note. And then this tied to, let's say, half note, which is tied to that whole note. And when is this G sharp? When is this note released? I'm going to figure that out now. Let's go here. Okay, so another question is how long is the C sharp and when does it go back to the E? Because I know this didn't hear this going for 4 beats. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to notate that. Do I make this a 2/4 measure or do I put the fermata here? Details, details, details. Sometimes music's all in the details. Alright, so G sharp. Okay, I'm going to put this audio diminuendo here. And this is piano, let's say diminuendo. This is pianissimo around here. Tempo. This tempo here may be faster than this. Could be a piumoso section here, but I'm not sure. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, da 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 dee. Alright, I have a clear idea what's going on. This is a whole quarter note. This is a half note, but I can put a fermata on that. That would account for that C sharp being held a little longer. I can delete this measure, add again the repeat sign here. This is, I think that's piano. It's still mezzo forte. Diminuendo starts here, ends very quietly. I'd say pianissimo here. Okay. And whether this was faster than this, it sounded the same tempo to me more or less. So it could have been a little more excitement, a little more push, like leaves that are being stirred by the wind somehow. Dee da dee da da da. Some sort of fantasy right there. But what I hear is some sort of vibrato here. Dee da dee da da da. Then dee da da. I'm not sure if that was 16 notes. It could have been triplets too. See, those 16 notes sounded a little too fast already. Then when I hear it, see these notes here sounded much more rounder in the recording. This sounded a little too sharp or square. So what I mean by round is that some music's more smoothly due to the rhythmic flow, ebb and flow. The notes here, it could be triplets. That would make it more round. This sounds a little more square because the 16 notes are clearly delineated within this pulse, da da da. But the triplets have a more rounder feeling. So I'm going to turn these into triplets, and that means making this. I'm going to just replace these and make them eighth notes. And tie this to the E of that triplet. So these triplets here will match the triplets in the second beat. That makes sense visually too. And I don't know why this natural sign here for the B is not necessary, and that moved the measure head. Alright. The formatting that natural sign took up so much space that when deleted it, that the measure could move forward, and then that previous measure dropped down to this line. Alright, what's next? I'm going to put a slur here to indicate legato as well. And what else? Oh yeah, another thing is here, I realized that this gets resolved, this F sharp goes down to E. So I knew there's something missing there, and that's what was missing. I'm going to flip that slur so it's above the notes. And that F sharp E movement comes here also. Now visually again, I wonder if this E should be a second voice here, and it should be half note. Like, whoops, I have to make this third voice first. And this half note. And flip that, flip that. Okay, I wonder, that B and E is not vertically aligned, but let's not worry about that for now. So let's delete this. Oh, I had it here already. Let's see. E as another voice independent of this. And I don't need this slur here. Or maybe that was a tie from something before. As you see, all these details, they really matter in the long run. They add up. All these small things add up to the big picture. And what a big picture it is, if you look at the scenery of the game, the landscape is so vast and so colorful, and it's really beautiful, and this music is portraying that landscape in terms of sound. And the sound and the visuals go together to make a great atmosphere and really what looks to be a very promising game. So now E, B, C sharp. I'm so glad that Koji Kondo is working on this music, and he's the supervisor of the music. I'm so glad his influence cannot be overstated. It's wonderful that he's on the team and really making great contribution to this. Alright, so here I'm not sure if I'm going to use all flats or all sharps. I have to make a decision because it looks funny to have the first two beats as sharps and the third and fourth beats be flats. So, because this is clearly Holden scale. B flat, A flat, so this should be G flat. Or this could be G sharp and A sharp. But I just hear that as a flat for some reason. Because the harmony here is so contrasting to the melody. There's a sharp here. Maybe all this could be in flats. That would make a statement, at the very least, saying that these harmonies here are very independent of this melody, and they're kind of clashing with each other, very, very softly clashing with each other. And the melody is here, the bass line is here, and then they move apart again, and then the melody, the bass line, the melody, and then here, measure 13, the melody and bass line, they come together and they clash. This is the excitement, this is the peak of the theme here, and that's where the G sharp and G clash. We have this very, we call it a lot of tension in the interval. When you have like a G and then a G sharp, it doesn't sound very pleasant. It just adds a lot of tension. It needs to be resolved. So this is what happens. The melody goes down here, and it's inconclusive because it doesn't really resolve in the most convincing ways. And especially when you have the G here go to the C sharp, that's a tritone interval here. So it's not, the bass does not fall down to some sort of resolution. It's up in the air, and then it goes back to the beginning here. So, just thinking, yeah, it might make sense to make all these notes flat. Well, instead of sharp, make them flat, because that makes sense. Just to have a different sonority. So this is going to be a C flat. Let's be F flat. Move this D flat to the right so you can see that dot from the C flat a little more clearly. So this is my idea, and of course I don't know the score. I've never seen the score of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but this is my interpretation, and part of transcription is that inevitably there will be some interpretive decisions that I'll have to make, and this is one of them I'll be making. And it's not a drastic decision I'm making, but it has some long-lasting influences on the course the music will take if these motives will be used later in the game. Because what I'm saying here is, by making them flat, is that there's a different sonority, and it's of course different instrumentation, and it's just clearly stating that there's a difference between the melody and the harmonic texture, and they're clashing with each other. So I'm just going to copy and paste everything here. Delete the pesante. Pesante is an Italian word for heavy. All these words here, andante means a walking tempo. So the tempo indication is indicated at the beginning of the piece of the first measure. So in Nintendo, they created Mario, and Mario is an Italian plumber. So why not use these Italian words? It fits very well with the games that they've created. Okay, even this E might be an F flat, and for some people who are not used to reading all these flats, there's no it shouldn't. Hopefully, once you read these flats, it will not be too difficult to read them. But I'm doing this for practical purposes. It's not to make anybody's life harder on purpose to read these notes. I think it's almost a necessity to really show these flats. And what originally tipped me off for it to be a flat was when I heard this harmony here, B flat F D E, and it just occurred to me that I hear it as B flat F D E, and I don't think it should be A sharp, E sharp, something like that. It's just these intervals here have to be a 6, and so it's E sharp. This D would be a C double sharp. This E would have to be a D double sharp, and yeah, it just makes more sense for this to be a flat. And if that's the case, then this, and I also hear this as A flat, not G sharp. And if that's the case, then this F sharp should be a G flat instead. And therefore, as you see, by process of elimination, everything before that, for it to make sense, should be flat as well. So this should be flat. Alright, now this F sharp. What should we do with this? This G flat. But at the same time, I feel this is such a new section, and it's like almost a new mode. Could be F sharp here. Because here we had a lot of fourths, and now suddenly we have this major 7th chord, the 13. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this as F sharp. Okay. So let's play this and see how it is. I'm gonna put say 90. Obviously, the computer doesn't take into consideration the fermatas here. It's pretty flat. Okay, that sounded pretty close to the recording. So, as I mentioned here, this B flat, I think it's held over. Just check. Yeah, it's held. And held over into this measure too. to the second beat, through the second beat. Alright. And I think this is held over too. And rewrite that in instead of pasting it, because if I paste it in, it's going to delete this because it's going to copy that, I think. Let's see, that's what happens. Well, actually it doesn't. Okay, that saved me about 10 seconds. Great. Tie this over. Wow, this shouldn't crisscross, so should flip that. Flip that. But now it's going over the A. Adjust that. I'll just keep it that way. So A. The slur would be hard. It would be like a vertical line almost. Yeah. Alright, there should be a slur here too. Let's see what else. Yeah. It's accents, I'm not sure. I just put them there just to show that there's some sort of emphasis on those notes, but there could be a crescendo here. There should be a staccato. I would play the staccato, maybe. I just have that note ring out. On the piano, if you play the note and then say this is the piano key and you play it like that, the note will ring more, because what happens if you hold the note down, the hammer that strikes a string in the piano, it stays closer to the string, so some of the sound waves are absorbed by the hammer in the piano. But if I let go of the key and hold it down the pedal, the hammer in the piano drops down lower, so there's more resonance in the piano. And it makes a big difference, especially if you're playing in a big hall or something, and it makes a huge difference. Alright, so let me just get the document set up here, maybe increase. There's only 3 lines, so might as well fit everything in one page, but make the notes readable as much as possible. So now there are 4 lines, and the font, overall font, should be a little bigger. Andante chord equals 90. It doesn't exactly make sense. Andante should be a little slower, but usually for these types of pieces, I'll leave it up to the performer to interpret this andante. I don't really think it's necessary to write the precise tempo marking, because especially in this, it's more about creating an atmosphere rather than trying to make sure one is adhering to quarter note equals X, because again, it's more about creating the atmosphere than the specific tempo. Or even trying to recreate this recording may not be advisable, because they're the same tempo, I mean, because it's piano performance is an art, and one should not have all these set beliefs or tempos that one will play again and again and again, because depending on one's mood, how one's feeling, one might play it faster one day, or one might play it slower one day, and both possibilities could be just as beautiful. So let's play through this again and see if there's anything I missed. Probably something will come up. First of all, the pedal comes off here. Okay, there. I always thought this pedal sign looked like a rabbit when I was reading like this in Furley's edition of Furley's. This looks like a rabbit. It's like the bunny ears, the tail. These are like the legs. And then suddenly I realized it's PED, stands for pedal. So it's not really a rabbit, but I think people should use a pedal as if the foot was as light as a rabbit or as nimble as a rabbit. Because you don't want to pedal with a lead foot, because then the pedal is not as nuanced as it can be. So, and what would have been my nuance, that it's not just an on-off switch or something. There's many gradations of pedal one can use, because what the damper pedal is, that it's lifting off the felts that are in contact with the string. So when the felts lift off the strings can vibrate. So if you depress the pedal a little bit, the felts will come off a little bit, and you can have a little more resonance, but not complete wash of sound. I think here, when the pianist is playing these notes, the pedal could be fully down, or it could be just a little bit off the string. The hammer's off, the felt's off the string, so there's a little bit of resonance. And yeah, I advocate using finger legato, which means connecting the notes with the fingers to play these notes, rather than completely relying on the pedal. And while we're on that subject, I'm going to try to put some fingerings in for this. Now, I don't have a piano with me right now, it's over here, but I'm going to kind of guesstimate what fingers there will be, and then I'll double check them on the piano later. So let's put fingerings. So for E, let's say third finger. It's a strong finger. And then A would be 1. One, 2. I'm going to switch to 2 there. Switch to the thumb. That's it's a technique a lot of beginning pianists should master, because it's very useful. When you're holding down this note, you want to hold down the note with the second finger, but then transfer the thumb, so the thumb is now holding down the note without the key being released. So therefore your second finger is free to play that next to D. So that allows the notes to be connected by the fingers. And it could be that there's some possibility where it might be advisable even just to take off the hand somewhere and to not do this finger transfer. But again, there's a lot of variables to make that come into make that decision, such as the hull, the size of the hull, the type of piano, the resonance of the piano, the pedal, how well one can create the atmosphere of the pedal, and all that things come into play. So these are not concrete fingerings, but there's just something that I'll provide for now. It's maybe that change the thumb might be a little too difficult or necessary. Alright, so the next thing is how to hold this F sharp, if it is held over or not. So yeah, it's not held over. There's a slight pause. I'm going to guesstimate. Let's say that would be a dotted quarter note to eighth rest pause. Could be a quarter note and quarter rest, but let's just keep it like that. So I think it was just an eighth note pause. That E came on the second beat. That's what that heard. All this has to be shifted over by a 1/16th note. This shows how sensitive this melody is, or the lightness of this melody, because I could hear it 1/16th note before that and 1/16th note last, and it's I might even write leggero, which means Italian word for light, and this should be pesante. So there's something light contrasting with something heavy. And maybe this is not a 16th note, it's a triplet too. There's always this question of 16th note versus triplet. This could not, maybe it could be a triplet too. Some triplet figure. Let's hear that again. That sounded faster than the recording. It could just be that the tempo indicated the computer's just playing faster overall. You hear the pulse before. Out here from even earlier. Not exactly sure. Two, three. Is that D flat on the fourth beat, or that's the question? Alright. First major thing is that this harmony is being elongated, extended throughout here. So that whole note. Tie that over. Now that a whole note. Okay. That, copy over that, copy over that, and indicate when the pedal, because the pedal is depressed here. And we have the clash of the slur over the 8th note, which visually is not that great. Alright, I guess it's the best we can do for now. So, tie this and tie that. Okay. Tie that here. The slur should be reversed. Okay. Now this should be under. That should be under. It's flat. Does it need to be there? These flats don't need to be there. Should be the other way around. Yeah, see, that's what's going on. This F flat. I have to put the tie here like that, so it won't go over the A. Delete this fermata. What else? Yeah, this should be pretty self-explanatory. 1, 4, and 2 for the fingering. And here 1, 5, 5, 1, 4, 1. So 5, 1, 4. Okay. This should be legato too, right? Slur. So everything should be legato here. I'm even tempted to write that legato. But now it looks a little too messy. Could write sempre legato. Like Chopin would write legato and like 4 times in one page in the Chopin Opus 10 number 282 to write legato, legato. Even Opus 10 number 1, think about sempre legato. Alright, sempre legato. I don't need to pedal it because I'm going to indicate the pedal because should we pedal it too? Look at all these rabbits. So if I write something for legato, then we don't need all these legato signs. That would make the ties stand out more. Okay, let's see. Don't need these natural signs here. Let me check the rhythm for that too. 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. Because there's I almost heard 4 beats there for that D, but metrically this, I'm not sure how to make sense of that. Pretty sure it's in 4/4. Could be an extra 8th note there. Wouldn't be the first time Koji Kondo uses a mixed meter. 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. Let's make this 9/8. And then actually it's before this all the other music gets shifted too much, make a 4/4 here to safeguard that. And that means all this gets shifted 1/8 note back. That becomes a quarter. This gets tied to an 8th note, which is tied to the next F sharp. That should be 4/4. Just 9/8 for one measure. And then this measure can be deleted. That can be deleted. Play that again. See that A does sound like an 8th note. 4. See that 8th? You can move 2, 3, or slower. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See that D to the G sharp is faster too. Very mysterious. Maybe it's not mysterious, it's just a triplet. Could just be a triplet. Let's say that becomes 8th note. This is a quarter note. That would explain a lot of things. That would explain a lot of things. 3, 4, 2, D, ta, ta. Now that should be a triplet too, but how does it fit in a 9/8? I'm not exactly sure. Because that triplet and that triplet would not match up. But yeah. Da da dee da 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 da. Da dee da. A G sharp sounds like a downbeat of the third measure. Could also be a triplet. The question is, if the A to B here is the same tempo as from here to here, because here they sound like eighth notes. From here to here, I don't know if that's a triplet or not. Let's see. On the downbeat of the third measure. I think that's the whole point of this piece. A lot of ambiguity in it, and the detail I'm trying to get at is it's kind of evasive because the downbeats are not clearly delineated to the composer's ingenuity. So let me try it again and see if more hearings will shed more light. Okay, that's a little more sense. This might come on the second beat. There's no fermata here. But this is here before. This is part of some sort of triplet. That D could actually be on the first beat. Because it just makes so much musical sense to have this G sharp on the first beat. Maybe D, G sharp, F sharp. That D is a triplet on the first beat. And this is not 9/8. It's 4/4 still. Let me rewrite this quickly. And take that. This could make a little more sense. Fingering 3. And that, I think it's a dotted. Something like that. There's some pause here. And this came on the second beat, maybe. 3, 4, 1. Da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. 3, 4, 1, 2, da, dee, da, da, 4, da, da, 1, 2, 3, 4, da, da, 1, da, da, 2. 1. Maybe my counting is a little fast. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if that's okay, which I think it is, this triplet can be repeated here. It should be repeated here. Tied to the A, and now here. Sixteenth dotted eighth, or some triplet again. 16th in a triplet, maybe. It sounds almost twice as fast as a triplet. Let's see. The A came in a little early. 2, 3, 4. It's really mystifying. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. From out of there. It's not. It's that. 1, 2, 3, 4. When is that A coming in? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Maybe ABD is a triplet and A is a downbeat measure. 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. This fermata is not needed either because this gets on the second beat. This is a triplet of these are. It's a triplet on the fourth beat. This is the first beat of measure 7. That. And I need that triplet. So okay, I think now we're getting closer to this transcription without using as many fermatas. It's always tricky, the timing of this, because it's so great that the pianist makes it sound so like it's in improvisation, and the meter is kind of, it's there, but it's not dictating the course of the music. It's just hanging out, and the music, the melody is floating. It's really great. Now this, which I'm still not sure. Whoa, what happened to this? I'll just rewrite this. Yeah, about this. I mean, this could be a grace note for all practical purposes. And the F sharp could actually be the downbeat. That's another possibility. It just came to me right now. That would solve a lot of transcription problems too, because this grace note gives the pianist a lot of freedom, and it makes a lot of sense too, because the F sharp is the important note. Da-da. And it's like it rings. Let's attempt this here. Okay. Now what else? Why? What is that there? The mark. That is kind of like a font here where the flag is kind of not aligned with that line. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how we've simplified rhythmic wise, or made it more clear what's going on. And that the notes are triplets. So let's see what else there. Let's check that again. Alright, this rhythm here. This could be quarter notes. This is a half note. Should be okay. I need that rest to come back. Because this should, I'm on the second beat. Oops. So to rewrite it. Oh, there's no rest there. Alright, this notes are clashing a little too much. They should be played together, but I don't know how to make them vertically stacked. Let's see. A half note. Okay, so let's get rid of these rests here. This rest here. Yeah, I'm trying to make them stack on top of each other. That note is not held throughout. Maybe that could be a blue note. And that would make it stack on top. Like that. But it's not for sure. Let's hear it. Yeah, the F sharp seems to continue the little. But if one's changing the pedal is being changed now. Okay, one thing is for certain is that this should come here. That note should be tied over to here. Now, is there any way to make that? Oh, there, that works. Stem should go up. Need that, don't need that. Whole note, don't need the fermata. Oh, now the notes are not aligned again. Okay, so maybe just make this that. And make this tied to that. Okay, so there, now the notes are stacked up and visually it looks clear to the performer that those C flat and F flat should be played together. Now, I'm almost kind of changed my mind about these flats. It could be sharp because all this could be in A mode. what we call a Lydian mode, where the notes of the scale would be like this. This would be A Lydian. And this is what's going on here. The notes of the A Lydian scale are being used, so staying in that mode would make sense. So this could be E. And this B flat could be sort of a color note. A flat could be a color note too. So that'd be A flat, B flat. That would make sense. Yeah, so maybe let's change this back to E. And now there are less accidentals, so it also makes it easier to read too. The question is, should put a key signature here. Usually when there's modal things going on in the piece, the key signature will sort of imply A major, but this is not A major, completely A major, even though this kind of resolves to A major here, but because this is D here, it's kind of Lydian. So I think that just because of this Lydian element here, there should not be a key signature. It's my personal interpretation. So let's get rid of the A Lydian scale, just to demonstrate the mode. Okay. This should be F sharp E. E, this should be F sharp. Now these are color notes, so I think these can be like the exception to the rule. This should be G sharp, B, C sharp, A sharp, okay, what else? Fingering for this. One, 2, 1, 4 for this. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 1, 4. 1, 2, 1, 4, maybe it's more control. The thumb has to be played twice, though. But 1, 2, 3, 5 just makes the hand too spread out. I'll have to check these fingerings on a piano, but this is just my hunch for now. I think F sharp should be played with the third finger. Notice this is like the coin sound for Super Mario. If it were B-E, like this, that's the coin sound from Super Mario when Mario hits the question mark box and picks up a coin. So, but instead, this piece is F sharp, but it's almost the same sonority. It's like a very ringing sound. Ta-dum! Okay, what else? Da-da. Okay, here, to figure out the rhythm for this, and this too. So I'm not entirely convinced about this. Back a little earlier. That's early enough. Yeah, that sounded like this chord's appeared on the second beat. Now, I don't think it's that. Could be quarter notes, quarter, quarter, or quarter half note. Yeah. The thing is, this C sharp, I think it's a triplet figure. So something like this. And that turns to a quarter note. Stem should be down there. It's tied. It's a half note. Stoddard, half note. Tied. A lot of rest. Don't need that. Need that rest. Need that rest. Okay, so to do the same changes to the left hand. I see the music sort of clarifying. Before, there are a lot of there's a lot of clutter in the page, and as we're working more and more, the music is clarifying where the notes lie and what beats in the measure, and that's what happens when it's kind of like working on a marble statue or something. You're chiseling away at these fine points, and this is what happens after all the hard work comes through. Okay, B, C sharp. Should be tied as well. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 4. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure of that. Here. Okay, same thing. I think I can copy and paste this here. For clarity's sake, I'll reinstate Leggero, this melody, Pesante here, Leggero here. This one online again. Know when that is. Yeah, I don't know why that note is not over the B. It's kind of offset here. It shouldn't be. Oh. I just thought there's something else on the extra page because I didn't see the repeat sign. Sort of went missing. Okay. Somehow the repeat sign went missing, but we got it back. Okay, so this should also be some sort of triplet here. So I don't know if I want to take an easy way down, just write a fermata there. There might be something else. Let's see. an extra. Beginning that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Personally, when does this enter in here? This could be a triplet. Okay, let's fix this first. That should be green. Oh, I can't change it. Let's delete it. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna make this orange. Stem up, stem down. Stem down, stem up. Okay. Should be playing together. Yeah, for some reason these notes aren't aligned again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this as one voice, and like I did here. Tie the D. Delete that. Delete the natural sign. Tie the D. Flip the slur. Delete the orange 3 bracket. And 6. Need the orange rest. This should be tied here. Alright. And then for consistency's sake, these should be independent because these weren't. So okay, there. Now I'm not exactly sure if this is the right rhythm either, but let's see how it goes. Right here. Okay. This could be a pickup to this measure. If I'm counting right, then that would make sense. This would enter the second beat and everything. That's a possibility. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That makes sense. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me check. If that's the case, then the interval between here and here should be shorter than as written. That sounds like it goes enough speed. To back up further. See that? Even the F sharp came in early. If you're counting strictly, we'll go back further. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even that, there wasn't consistent. There's a lot of things to play around here. That F sharp in measure 7 could have been slightly earlier. F sharp, but I didn't hear it go down to E. Maybe it's a pedal that's blurring things. No. Yeah, I don't hear an E, it should be an F. Okay. And this should be close enough to F sharp. This time sound like this was on the downbeat, but it makes total sense. These are quarter notes here. And this sound like it was on the third note of the triplet on the fourth beat, not on the first beat, which I wouldn't be surprised if it were. And that's tied to that. It's tied to that. Grace note there. Something like that. Here the fourth line went under the second page, so I have to lower the font a little bit. Okay, and the repeat sign's still there. Alright, the fingering went away, but we can add that back. I don't know if I can write the fingering for that grace note. Let's see. Yeah, so it just jumps to this note here. Yeah, unless I can this one here. Yeah, and just move that fingering there, and then add another fingering here. 3. I'll put 3 here. Alright, that makes the most sense. Let's play it again. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, this didn't come on the second beat in the strictest sense of my time. It's my counting. Try to go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's on time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now, see, that's the issue here. One, always heard these as quarter notes. Huh. Almost like there's an extra beat here. Okay, add an extra beat there. Because when I count out loud, it should closely coincide to what I see on the page and what I'm hearing. But when it doesn't, such as in certain times like this, then I have to investigate why it's not and what's happening, why it's not, what I see is not coinciding with what I hear. Okay, so I added this an extra quarter rest here, because I think that will solve the solution. I don't think it's the most elegant way, but it is what I hear, at least for the moment. Okay, so let's go back to here on there and count. Yeah. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, that makes so much more sense now. I guess just a 5/4 there. Okay. Let's move this over so I can. The little chord sound is a clash with the sharp sign. Now here, this harmonic could be over the quarter rest instead. Alright, that makes so much more sense now. Now I noticed that here, this was kind of on the off beats. If they're offset by half a beat. Okay, so this needs to be an 8th note. Okay. And this should be oops. Offset here should be dotted. Same with here, E flat should become 8th note. offset by eighth note. Should be dot. Alright, something like this. And the music's kind of drifting away. The melody is drifting away and going away. Alright, so this should also be tied with those notes. Flip this down, or flip the slur, I mean. It's tied. This reminds me of the KNX 1070 News Radio theme. It'd be KNX 1070, something like that. It must be the same pitches, I'm not sure. It just reminds me of that. I'd hear that sometimes when I hear themes. Just other music comes into my mind without even me thinking about it. Okay. So I think we solved the problem by putting this 5/4 here. Okay, let's look at the ending here. And again, the ending repeat sign has magically disappeared somehow. So let's put it back in. Okay, so this is tied over here. Alright. So let's put this here. Now, even this could be a triplet too, because I don't see these 16th notes used very often in this piece, and even in Zelda pieces, the main theme was in triplets. and the opening title to the Wind Waker was really triplet, well, triplets there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a triplet too. Now here, I don't think there's much pedal used. Finger pedaled. Right hand 1 4 2 5. Left hand 4 3 2 1. Then here, one 3 1 4 5. All right. Here, fingering. 1 2 5. Three 1 2. 5. Five. Switch to 1 maybe. Then 2 and 5. Okay. Now let's go into this section here. Just wondering how many phrases. Let's see, how many phrases are there? 1, 2. I want to say this is a phrase though. How many? That's the question. How many phrases are there? Because the music doesn't seem to cadence There's no clear sense of cadence. This is a new section. Maybe everything from measure 1 to measure 12 is one phrase. And this is some sort of answer, question and an answer. But what question is being asked and what's the answer, that's the mystery and the surprise to the game. Fingering 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. So for fingering, it's always good to use strong fingers whenever possible. I'm using 2 5s here, which may not be so detrimental because this is in the high range of the piano and the 5th finger can certainly play this expressively and legato. And this fingering will lend itself to phrasing this melody naturally, I think. 5, 2, 1, 3, 5, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. It's almost like there's a written note rubato here where there's 2 eighth notes and a triplet. So this should definitely be played as written to emphasize the difference between the eighth notes and the triplets here. 3, 4, 3, or 2, 3, 2 actually. Then this rest, 8th rest, is a surprise because silence kind of suspends the descent of the melody temporarily, then continues here. And then there's some sort of register transfer here. The C sharp rests on the B, it goes up to B, then down to C sharp, then up to G sharp. That's kind of like the Monkey Island title theme with the guitar, some type of guitar-like instrument is playing, and has these intervals like this. B. I'm not writing the rhythm out, but and then the next measure. So something like this. Yeah, so as you see, the intervals here go up and down, up and down. Sort of reminds me of this, what's going on here. Okay, so say goodbye to the world of Monkey Island for now. I really enjoyed playing that game when I was growing up. And I still haven't completed playing Monkey Island 2, so hopefully someday I'll get to play that with more spare time. Alright, so we have diminuendo, pianissimo, and triplet. Okay, let me check this last section. Alright, that was kind of like it, but there's some subtle differences here. First of all, this rest came earlier than what the music, when the recording was. So let me see what's going on. There's an extra beat here. I don't know. Alright, I think it's general what it's like. When listening to the pianist, one always has to give some leeway to the rhythm and some flexibility as to what the pianist is doing interpretively wise and the feelings and the emotions that the pianist is trying to express. So, of course, one can expect the pianist to play an exact rhythm as what's written all the time, and it shouldn't, because there's emotions and different elements that'll factor in. So, and even if one plays rhythmically in time, then it creates this not emotion, and it's just not musical in many cases. So I wouldn't be surprised if this G sharp was maybe a whole note, and maybe the pianist decided to linger on that a little longer to prepare for this dramatic eighth rest here in the silence, which I'll about to note the pedal that comes off before that eighth rest. And some ritardando. Yeah. Could be rallentando, but just keep it ritardando for now. Is that a triplet? Not exactly sure. Maybe ritardando started here. Could be ritardando started here. That would explain for why these notes are slightly slower. 2, 3, 4, da da da. The triplet notes sound pretty fast. Da 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 dee da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da dee da da dee da 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 dee. Maybe this was 16 notes. 2, 3, da 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 da. Definitely some sort of ritardando there, and I think maybe it's the 16 notes. So 16 notes. 8th, 16th, 16th. This could be a fermata. No, it's also fermata. Let me see. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. These could be half notes, and maybe there's just a breath between the repetition and going back to the beat, back to this melody here. See, I hesitate to say the beginning because the piece is trying to create a seamless loop of things, so it's not to pay respect to the music. It's more like there's no beginning or end. It's just this piece that goes around and around and around. See, I'm taking my time to transcribe this. I enjoy listening to this, so I'm not in any hurry to finish this transcription. And the more and more I look into this, the more I discover new things. So you notice that this is subito piano here. I'll just leave it pianissimo because it's maybe I should write subito. Subito is an Italian word for suddenly. Suddenly pianissimo, so that means the pianist should not make any gradual change from mezzo forte to pianissimo. It should be mezzo forte from here to here, including the left hand, of course. So there we go. 4, 3, 2. Switch the third finger to play with 2 and 1. Alright. Now the left hand should be 2, 3 and 2. Alright, this tie is not going down, so I'll just recreate it. Alright. I don't know if this pedal here now. There's like a slight swell there. Oops. I think this is tied to that. I wonder if this makes sense musically. You have subito piano here. Da da da. Or this could just be the end of a diminuendo marking here. And then another diminuendo marking here. And this should be pianissimo. But I heard a subito pianissimo here. This is mezzo forte, I think. So I heard this piano, then diminuendo to pianissimo. Okay. Alright, this is getting closer to the recording. Let's play it from the beginning. Alright, so I made some few changes here, and this part reminds me of spectral music. What I mean by spectral music is that these notes seem to be playing off the fundamental notes of here of the overtone series. And that's just my impression. As the music goes higher and higher, like these notes seem to be all originating from this B flat here, color note. And the way this phrase somehow the D that wasn't as emphasized as much as this, the D, F sharp and E. So I'm going to put this union of markings here. These markings here, these horizontal lines, indicate for the performer to make a very slight accent. So tunito marking. Tunito means to hold. So in some cases, the tunito marking doesn't necessarily mean an accent. Some composers. But in this case, I'm going to have it mean to emphasize these notes. So that's what I hear. The pianist is playing di da da there. And here, these notes are more emphasized. I might give this an accent. Give that an accent too. It's a small accent. Tunito marking here. Tunito marking here. As you see, when I made the tunito marking here, for some reason when I made it on the E, it didn't come up. When I made it for the B, somehow I had to move the E out of the way to get the tunito marking there. Alright, so tunito marking here as well. Because whenever these two note groups here, the first note is emphasized slightly more. Same with here, on a lesser degree. Should try not have this run over the 4, the time signature. These lines kind of go over the whole note. But I know there's much I can do with that. Change that. I think that's the way it will be for now. Alright, so let's give it a spin and I'll play this and we'll see how it sounds. Alright, so there you have it. Now I'm tempted, there was some silence before there, so I'm trying to reconcile that. If you should make this a quarter note. But I think these notes were held longer than a quarter note, that's the thing. We can make 2 fermatos. 2 consecutive fermatos. That usually doesn't happen much. I don't think in music I've seen that happen much, but okay, that can work here. Something like that. Alright, so here is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild transcription. And I've hoped you've enjoyed my commentary and my transcription process. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.